Africa has the world's highest rates of teenage pregnancy, a factor that affects the health, education, and earning potential of millions of African girls. Today, thousands of Ugandan girls fall victim to this ever-expanding problem, but all they need is a little guidance and help to find a light at the end of the tunnel. Solome Nanvule is doing exactly that with the little she can afford so as to see a better future for the teenage mothers in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Solome, to Life Stories. You're welcome to the show, dear.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, tell me a brief about yourself. Who is Solome?
Solome, my full names are Solome Nanvule, but I got a third name from my husband because I'm married.
Oh, okay, nice.
so I'm Solome Sembeguya. I would prefer that.
Oh, okay.
So I am married with 2 children, Sammy and Solange. I have 2 citizenship, the Ugandan citizenship and the Canadian citizenship.
Okay.
So while in Uganda, I work with the teenage mothers. While in Canada, I work with adult women, abused women.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So all my work is within the women.
Okay, when you talk about abuse, what exactly do you mean?
It's a woman who is going through hardship, but being abused by the spouse.
Oh,
when it comes with the children that I'm working with, they are abused with the community and their family and parents.
Okay, so it's more of domestic violence.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about a bit of your background. Where did you grow up from?
My background, I grew up in Nankrabi. It's on Hoima Road, Kasubi, that side. I was raised by a single mother. She's passed now, the late Ruth Nansamba.
Sorry.
So I don't have a permanent home that I can show you that it's this one. I have different homes.
Okay.
Because my mom was struggling a lot as a single mom. We are 4 children that she was raising at that time. And we grew up in Nankrabi. You
talked about losing your mom. When exactly did you lose your mom?
My mom passed on June 8th, 2003. She passed away.
Okay.
Yeah, she got sick. I did not get an opportunity to bury her. In fact, it's a long journey because that time I had moved to Canada. Father Pelletier had helped me to go to Canada. I went to Canada in 2002 and she passed away in 2003. So my last time to see my mom was at the airport. And I can only remember her last words to me. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, the first thing when you reached Canada and probably got a job and everything, what was that main target you had for home? I'm sure there's something, you know, when like it's your first time to go out of the country or go away from your family, there's that thing you always think about when you're leaving home. What was your target?
To tell you the truth, as I was leaving Entebbe airport, I thought I'm going in heaven. Like, I was so excited. I was like, forget about Uganda.
I know.
Because having been raised by a white person, like, much as I was a vulnerable child, but I knew I was blessed.
Yes.
And I grew up knowing that every white person is a rich person.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw father growing up in the convent where they were staying at the church in a small room. It did not click that he's not rich. Anyways, I was little. I collect the money. We count the money at the end of the service. So I didn't know. So the time he said that he's taking me to Canada, I was like, okay, bye-bye. I'm going to heaven. But I got a shock of my life when I got to Canada. It was pretty much shocking. I arrived in Toronto, but I traveled to Montreal where he was staying. He was a French Canadian. Like Zuena, I can't tell you, he lived in this tiny single room with a 1 bed, a typewriter and something. And then when I reached there, I have seeing all these beautiful roads and buildings,
houses,
and everything. I said, what happened to you? Oh my God. Because even his Ugandan home was far better than that.
Wow.
And he said, what do you mean? This is how I live. Because he was a priest.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so it's a single room. Where am I going to sleep? What's going on? And he said, we have visitors' quarters and everything. So that's where I realized, oh my God, somebody too did something so wonderful in my life.
Yes.
I sobbed. I'm a very emotional girl. I cried. And then he told me the story, how he got all the money that I used to see, all the good things. And he just told me he had wonderful friends.
Oh,
and
so it's the friends who are helping him out.
yes,
Wow.
it was the friends. He used to just talk to friends. He used to tell stories about us. I remember us writing letters, drawing pictures. So he showed me all those letters, the paintings, and he would just go to a friend, show a friend a letter, our pictures. He used to take us pictures, and then somebody would give her $10, $20 or something.
Wow.
And then, of course, he had a big family. There were 12 siblings. So his sisters and brothers, he had twin sisters. We grew up in their kids' clothes.
Oh, dear.
So instead of bringing a suitcase back to Uganda of his own clothes, he used to put in our clothes for us to wear.
Nice.
But because we are in Uganda, we used to see those clothes. I mean, you know, they are from Canada, or like you couldn't know.
Yes.
But when I saw how he raised men of us, I was like, I'm blessed. And I said, I have to do something about it. That time, I got a turning point to give back and to do what he wanted and he loved to do. Because that moment he was retired, he couldn't come back to Uganda, and his dream was Uganda, to help girls in Uganda. And I remember I promised him that I can do what you've been doing.
You promised him that?
I promised him that because for the many years he took care of me after Pelletier University. I took him for granted. Well, he's white. He loves me. He's my dad.
Yeah.
So, but I really got touched when I went overseas and I saw where he was sleeping, how he lived, and how he got the money to raise me up to Pelletier University.
Oh, wow. That is interesting. So when you arrived there, what did you do? Did he take you to school, or did you probably get you a job right away when you started working?
Do you really want to know that?
I really want to. I really want to know.
Okay. When I went there, I was a bad child, I would say, at that time, because I was pregnant. Haha, ding, ding.
You're a bad child.
I was pregnant. I was holding a baby in my tummy, but he didn't know.
Okay.
He did not know.
Okay, I'm also surprised here. How old were you then?
I went to Canada, I was like 22.
Okay, okay.
So
that means that's after your school?
Yes, after my university.
Okay,
immediately after my university. I think I was 23, 22, yeah. So anyways, I had a boyfriend. He knew about my boyfriend, kind of, because yes, he knew when I started dating, but he didn't know the other story of it.
Yeah.
And so when he invited me to go to Canada, it took a long time. Like he came, I went to Canada in 2002. He came in 2000. That was his time he was in Uganda. And he said, in June 2002, you're going to come to Canada and visit me. He flew back. Okay, I started life. So anyways, I got pregnant the time the visa came through.
Oh.
And it was like 3 months old.
Did your mom know about that? That you were expecting?
Yes.
Okay.
She knew about it.
Okay.
So, but she didn't know that I was going to Canada that time. So I just got a phone call that you got a visa and you're traveling next week.
Oh.
Okay, I'm pregnant. What do I do? And father doesn't know.
Yeah.
And that time there was no cell phones, there was no email. Like the emails were there, but myself, I didn't have an email personally.
Okay.
So the only way I could communicate to him, there was a parish priest where I used to go get my school fees and everything. So I came to mom and I said, well, I'm pregnant and father needs me to go. What do I do? What are we going to do? So we freaked out. She freaked out. Everybody freaked out. You've messed up everything.
I know.
You're not legally married. You're horrible. You're everything. How do we fix this? And then I said, I'm doing it. I'm going, and I'm not first going to tell him that I'm pregnant. It's not showing everything. You know, girls, I got baggy clothes and everything. I packed my clothes. I had to leave. So anyways, when I got there, I told him that I have a secret to tell you.
Oh, God. Yeah, secret.
I know. It was sad. And then I told him the situation I was going through, and I told him that I was pregnant.
Wow. How did he take it?
He was very mad about me because I didn't keep the promise. I wasn't faithful, and he had a bigger plan for me going to Canada.
Oh.
And at that time, I was in Montreal, French speaking. I didn't have French. He's a priest. He doesn't know where to put me because his plan was to put me in school for more education.
Oh, dear.
So, okay, what's next? And he said, okay, if you're pregnant, you're going back to Uganda. Because there's no way how I'm going to host you here, how I'm going to do things like this. You're going back to Uganda. He freaked out. But he was my dad, like a dad and a child.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going. Because we were talking like father and child.
Yes.
I said, I'm not going. I don't care. I'm not going. So anyways, I moved from his place. I became a runaway kid from his place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I moved from Montreal. I went to Toronto.
How did you go?
By bus.
You had the money?
Yes, I had some money. In Canada, there's what they call a shelter system for new immigrants. So I went to the shelter. In that shelter, you live with drug abusers, you live with homeless people, you live with all kinds of people. So I went to a female shelter. After staying in a shelter, I got counselors that helped me out, and I was able to tell that I was pregnant. So what they did, based on my age, they referred me to a program of teen mothers. And then I went through that program for teen mothers until I gave birth to my son.
Okay.
And yes. So during that course of period of time working with the teen mothers program, that's where I got inspired, and I got to think about what I left behind with my mom, with the bad news that I'm pregnant, with my dad that I'm pregnant, and my life, that's the end of it. So I had to do something about my life to make everything straight. So they helped me get my baby, and then they helped me to put things straight in Canada, and I had to do what my dad wanted me to go to school. So during that time, I went back to school, Ryerson University in Toronto, and I got a Bachelor of Social Work. So right now I'm a social worker. And like that program fixed my life and fixed everything between my mom before she passed and my dad in Canada.
Oh, that's really nice.
Remember when I say my dad, he's the Reverend.
Yes, that's really nice. We'll go for a very short commercial break, but when we return, Solome will be telling us how her journey started and how she decided to give back in Uganda, plus the challenges she's been facing in her life. Do not go away. We all seek for better opportunities. When Solome left for Canada, she was met with a culture shock. What she thought did not happen to be reality. Pregnant and lost, Solome had to find her way back to her guardian and continue the road she made to take. A road that will lead her to help young mothers in need. We talked about you picking a leaf from where you were living. How did you manage to come up with whatever you're doing right now?
Okay, it wasn't an easy journey because I had promised father to do what he loved to do when he retired. I started in a friend's house, my maid of honor. Actually, I got married.
We'll reach to
I
that
started
point.
in my maid of honor's garage, and I started, I remember, with 5 girls, and they started doing beads. I checked on the girls that father was taking care of before he left. So going back to check on them, they were living a different life. They were mothers themselves.
Yes.
They were not in school because there was a little bit cut off communication between Father Pelletier and them, and the technology was so bad that time.
Yes, yes.
So there was poor communication. The few girls who were still getting help from Father Pelletier, they still didn't get the help. Somebody was receiving the money on their behalf and using the money for other purposes.
Oh dear.
So as girls, because Father Pelletier was mainly taking care of the girls, so as girls, they also got what I got through, and they got pregnant and they were teen moms. So I was more visioned and compassionate to try and think what really happens to a teen mother in Uganda.
Yes.
What really happens. Because remember, I told you, having been raised by a priest, it was a shame on me that I got pregnant before the official marriage.
Oh yes.
It was very sad. So imagine another girl, what situations they are going through. So that's where I started, and I moved from my friend's garage to my mom's home because that time it was vacant. I built with the little money that I had, come with as a Musama person, the way they call us.
Hello, Musama.
So I used my Musama money into something beautiful. I built this studio home and the office there, and we started a small program. We didn't have all these machines, we didn't have all what you see, just the floors, and the girls were just doing the beading.
Okay.
So to take you back, I shared the dream with my sister who follows me. I brought back what I went through with father and everything. So she was the one mentoring the girls in my absence.
Okay.
So that's how we started, and we've been growing and growing and growing up to where we are now.
Tell me about the challenges you faced, especially coming up with a structure like this and helping the young mothers, the teenage young mothers.
The challenge I've faced is the financial challenge. I want to do big. I have a big vision, but I don't have the finances.
Okay.
But based on father's story, he told me he raised all of us, thousands of us, through friends. I've made friends in Canada. So I speak to my friends. When it comes to money, I'll come to you, Zuena, and I say, hey, do you know if you give me $5, it can make a difference in Uganda? This is what I do. Wow. So the girls are doing the same things that I did when I was growing up. They write a letter, they write their story, what they are going through, and what they want to do. And I take those letters and pictures to personal friends. So I went to a level in Canada because you can't collect money without registering it. So I kind of registered it on a community level and I opened up a special account for it.
Oh, nice.
And then I bring clothes for their babies, I bring toys, I bring books. So instead of bringing things in my suitcase, I'm just doing the same thing just as father did it.
Oh.
I bring those things, those donations, because when you've traveled at the airport, it's not easy to bring those stuff.
Yes.
A lot of time they say, oh, you're going to sell it. Jino Mivumba, you're a seller. So I'm struggling, but I'm doing my level best to do that. And I got a wonderful family. It's Tina Healy and David Healy that believed in me. And they've been helping financially a lot. They live in Toronto.
Okay.
The husband is retired. He was a teacher in Toronto. And the wife, she's a nurse.
Nice.
So they are working close with me to take this place forward.
When did you open up this place?
Officially.
Oh, as in, how long has it been in existence?
I think since 2012.
2012.
I can't give you the specific dates because it did not start as an organization. It started as a group of teen mothers helping each other,
Okay.
sharing ideas, sharing clothes, sharing with everything. But 2012, we started the real business.
Okay.
Yes. And basically what we are doing for the girls is when the girls, we get your story, first of all. How did you get pregnant? At what age? What happened? What went wrong? Well, how can we help you? Why do you want to do? Why are you here?
Yes.
So, and then their requirements, we go to the LCs where they stay. We get an LC letter. We try to go to the family if you still have a mom, a judger who knows your story, your journey. And then after, if you qualify all that, you have to be single. You're not married. And after you qualify and you get into the program, we have 3 programs. We have the baking program. They make cakes. We have the sewing program. They make cushions, pillows, and all kind of thing.
And clothes. I see a lot of
Yes.
dresses.
And then, yeah, and then we have the hairdressing.
Okay.
They learn how to do the beading. So you have to choose one.
Oh, you can't do all of them?
No.
Okay. Okay.
It's because of the funding.
Yeah.
I'm limited with the teachers, the instructors that are doing. I would love them. It's mean to do that, but because of the funding. So when you choose one class, and then we enroll you in that class. So my idea is to empower these girls just as I was empowered in Canada, as a single mom, a new mom, a teen mom in a foreign land. How did I get on my feet up to my marriage, up to where I am? So basically my idea, because remember there are school dropouts. When you get pregnant, whether you're in primary 7, majority are primary 7 dropouts.
Here?
Yes.
Okay.
Senior 4 dropouts.
Primary 7?
Yes, most of them. Others, 0 education. Maybe primary 4. You know the way they come to get pregnant is they move from the villages to the city. This is their stories. Like I have one story of the girl. She came from Mukono to come and work as a house girl. In the process of being a house girl, she got pregnant. She was raped, I think, by a Shamba boy. And then, of course, she couldn't stay in that home as pregnant. So she moved out and she went to a friend's place somewhere. So that's how somehow, somewhere, she got to know about us. So she has 0 education. She can't read, she can't write. I have a challenge when people ask me, why are you doing what you're doing? It's like you're encouraging the other girls to get pregnant. Why are you doing it? They should be punished. You get labeled, you get judged, you get all these things. But at one time, I asked a person, just think of a teen mom you know in the village. The parents are so mad. Move, I don't need you. It's a shame. I've struggled to put you in school. Now you're pregnant.
Yes.
Do you think where they go? These are the girls in prostitution.
Exactly.
These are the girls in bars. These are the girls everywhere. These are the girls you find them like having one baby, another baby, another baby.
Just trying to survive.
Just trying to survive. And men keep using them in order to survive.
Yeah.
If you happen to listen just to one story of these girls, you can't even believe. You will say that I'm so blessed.
Exactly.
I know we are not the only teen mothers organization in Uganda. Yeah, but that's what we are trying to do and helping them.
Apart from helping these young teenage girls and giving them whatever they need, like the little lessons you're giving them, do you push them into getting jobs after they leave this place?
I help them acquire jobs through loans. They get small micro loans and start their own business.
Okay.
We borrow them money in form of a circle. So they bring back the money you know how, I don't know how best I can explain.
I know how the circle works. You can be like 10 people, then today it's 50, this week 50, 50, 50, 50, then you give it to one person.
Yes.
And the next week like that. Okay, I understand. How many girls are in this project?
Right now we have 35 girls.
And the age bracket is?
Their age bracket, they are from 14 years to 20 years of age, and they are mothers. So they are children raising their own children.
Oh, yes. And do they live here?
No, they don't live here. They live in the neighborhood. They live in the community.
Okay. Yes. So they just come for the lessons and go?
And then they go.
Okay.
Because they are many, as you see, we have a small place.
Yes.
They are divided in two at times. Some come in the morning, others come in the afternoon. But they are always here from Monday to Friday.
All right, we'll go for a short break, but when we return, she'll be telling us more of her love life and that word of wisdom. You don't want to miss this. Apart from doing this program that you're doing that literally doesn't give you any earnings, what else do you do with your life? What keeps you busy?
What keeps me busy? I'm married. Okay. With 2 children. That's a big job. But in Canada,
I know.
Yes,
yeah.
But in Canada, I work in Canada as a social worker. I'm a housing worker. Okay. I help the homeless women. I work with women. I'm sorry, I love women.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Just following me.
Yeah.
So I work in a women's shelter. I help them to find permanent housing.
Okay.
So these people may have lost their houses according to the situation. Maybe using drugs, maybe bad dates, maybe like divorce or separating from their siblings. So I'm just like a settlement worker, I'll put it that way. And I get paid. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Okay.
That's how I am.
And you talked about being married and have children.
Yes.
When did you meet with your husband? Was that before you went to Canada or after you went to Canada?
Yeah. Okay. So sensitive. He's my high school boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
That's so sweet. I went to.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been moving with him from senior 5.
Wow.
Just dating, not serious, on and off, on and off. And then we got separated for the longest time when I went to Canada in 2002.
Okay.
Yes. So until I settled down in Canada and he had to join me there, he had to wait for so many years.
How many years?
4+.
Ah, those are not many.
They are.
Okay, for partners, there are many, yes.
They are. And I remember that time communication was so difficult. I could just call him once a week. It would be easy. Nowadays, you have Facebook, Twitter, and everything.
Yes.
But those days, it was really complicated. And being a single mom in Canada, it was so complicated.
Yeah.
So I'm so blessed that I didn't change. So he's still in my life and it's wonderful.
Okay, where did you get married? In Canada or here?
Here, St. Augustine, Makerere University.
Okay, that's after your mom passed on?
Yes.
Oh, sad.
She wasn't here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Okay. What helps you overcome the challenges that you face in your daily life?
From my background, how I grew up, like, I'm just a strong girl. I'm very emotional, but very strong. I believe so much in me. I believe big. To tell you the truth, Father Pelletier inspired me so much with what he did so much. The best thing, like maybe your audience, your viewers who are there, who are in the Catholic domination, they may know about his history. He's the one who started the Xaverian movement. It's about scouting, girl scouting. So he was a very strong gentleman. The way he raised me, I'm a very strong woman. Much as I get challenges of marriage, I get challenges of leadership, I get challenges as the director right now. I just always think big and focus, and I have the passion and the heart to help vulnerable people. I love my country. I love to work in my country. I love to serve my people. Even when I'm in Canada, if they tell me somebody is from Uganda, like if you get a chance to come and visit, you won't struggle so much to get to know me. You just ask Solome, Mama Pitimoff. Now they call me Mama Pitimoff. You get to know me.
Yeah.
So I'm a people's person. So that helps me to get through all my challenges.
Okay.
It cheers me up and makes me be who I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what could be your future plans?
My dream right now, I've started saving little by little. I'm planning to get a 5-acre land or plus, God willingly. This is my dream for 2015. It was my New Year's resolution.
Yes.
I need to get a 5-acre land where I can put this thing to make it bigger so that I can do so much, because there is a lot of need in the community. By the way, I'm getting girls who are coming in here. They are not moms. They are not mothers, but they want the skills. But I can't accommodate them because of the space and what I have. So my 2015 resolution is to get a bigger home where I can reach out to so many. Do farming. I can see myself do farming. I can see myself with a maternity leave or ward program, a health center. I can see myself with a home for the homeless mothers in Uganda, where somebody can come and stay for maybe up to 5 months until they get on the road. Because I get many of them here and they just sleep here, there. On that piece of land, I want to make a baby's home, just like Sanyo baby's home, because some of these girls...
You have a big heart.
Yes, because some of these girls, they don't know what to do with their babies.
Yeah.
It's so hard. So if I can have a home for babies and I raise those babies, that will be wonderful. I've already started story with the baby section. I have where they have their own time as their mothers are learning these things. It was my first house with my dear husband.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You have to take us there. You have to see that. That's really great. Really? And you know, the surprising bit of it is that your husband is supportive.
Yes.
He loves what you do. That's the best part of it all.
So that's my vision.
All right. That's a nice one. What's your greatest fear in life?
I'm so scared of death. Ever since my mom passed, I don't believe that she's gone. So even when I have her in my dreams, or I fear death so much, I don't know when I pass what will happen to my kids. I don't know what will happen to the people I've been working with. So I'm so scared of death. And yeah, it freaks me out. Each time I think about death, I think about my mom. I miss her so much.
I know.
But I still love her so much.
What lessons have you learned from this charity work you're doing?
I've learned that when you love, nothing is impossible. I'm not rich. If you happen to come to Canada, you'll be surprised where I live with my 2 kids. I live on the apartments that will be like the national housing. You know how they say national housing of Uganda? Those are the houses for, I would say, the low people, the farriers. Raising kids in that community is not easy. But I'm living in that house because there's something wonderful that I'm doing here.
Yes.
I could afford to live in a better place in Canada, but because of the love that I have, oh my God, I just don't want to get emotional again.
No, it's okay.
It's because of the love that I have for these girls. Just love and love and love and love. You do anything.
Yes.
You do anything. Like my paycheck, it doesn't matter whether I want a nice shoe, I want a dress. If it's about these girls, it has to go.
That's wonderful.
I'm married. We have bills, as I told you.
Yes.
You can't be late. but my bill can wait when it comes to this charity. When I think about how Father loved me, where I am with my kids, where will I have been without?
Yes.
I just continue to love and give.
Yes.
I give everything.
True.
Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you could give to the people watching us now, especially the teenage mothers?
Okay. My first advice will be with the parents. I'm going to categorize it because I've been asked this question so much. If you're a family and your daughter messes up, please, please, just accept the child. Do not send them away because where you're sending them, it's not safe. It's not safe. I know it's painful, and I'm a mother and I have a girl, but please don't just keep, because when you keep with them, just as Father Pelletier did, you work with them and they pick up from where they lost.
Yes.
So you don't lose the whole of them. They will lose a little bit of time, but you will move with them.
Yes.
And then the girls, please focus. Stay in school. If your mom is struggling, don't do the mistakes that we did. Don't do my mistakes that I did. Thank God that I reached Makerere University. But if you're still in primary 7, I have girls here, primary 7, senior 4. When they steal money to put you in school, please don't do it. If you're a single mom, right now, you're listening to me, you're right there, you're hiding. Maybe somebody's helping you to sleep there. Maybe you're thinking of doing an abortion. Please don't do it. I've got cases where girls are dying. Please don't do it. Just be strong enough and find people who can help you. If you're in the neighborhood and you know about that girl, you're seeing her struggling, speak to her, talk to her. Even having her in your own house, just a bed, no food,
Yes.
it can save a life. You're saving lives of 2 people, the mother and the baby inside. So reach out there. And then for the males, oh my God. I just want to be gentle and kind.
Yeah, I know.
Please. You know, as girls we lie, our age, you may see a girl, she's beautiful, big enough, but please and please, please and please, just let the girls focus and work. I remember when we were growing up, we used to say, until marriage, like, please just be patient, because it always depends on the boy to rush you into sex.
Yes.
It always starts with the boy. And when you love him so much, you don't want to leave him, you offer.
Yes.
So sometimes, yes, as a girl, you have to be strong. But sometimes we are women. You know that when we are girls. So sometimes it may happen. So please.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing with us your story. And thank you for the big heart you have. I'm sure, I don't know, God will just repay you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you're a teenage mother out there and you're struggling to make it in life, just pass by and you'll get some skills that probably might help you in the future. And to other people out there who can donate anything, please, you're very welcome to come and donate here at Pelletier Teenage Mothers Foundation. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, NTV Life Stories, our Twitter handle at NTV Life Stories. Until next time, may the good Lord bless you.